Did you know that the University of Sussex has just been slapped with a massive fine of £585,000? What does this mean for the future of free speech on campus? The implications are huge, and the controversy is just getting started. Stick around to find out the details and what it all means for higher education. In a dramatic turn of events, the University of Sussex has found itself in the middle of a fiery debate over freedom of speech, after receiving a £585,000 fine from the Office for Students, or OFS. This all started with the departure of Professor Kathleen Stock back in 2021, who faced accusations of transphobia over her views on gender and sex. The OFS's investigation uncovered that the university's policies surrounding trans and non-binary equality, which call for positive representation of trans individuals, might have unintentionally suppressed dissenting voices among both staff and students. University leaders, including Vice-Chancellor Professor Sasha Rose Neal, aren't taking this sitting down. They've already expressed plans to legally challenge the OFS ruling, calling it an unreasonably absolutist definition of free speech. But here's the big question: can universities really protect free speech while preventing harassment and bullying? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. The OFS found a worrying trend at Sussex, with staff, including Professor Stock, feeling the need to alter their teaching methods or even silence themselves out of fear of disciplinary action. Dr. Arif Ahmed, the OFS Director for Freedom of Speech, stated that the investigation was thorough and underscored the need for a balance between allowing free expression and preventing hate speech. The university argues that this ruling could actually empower harmful speech, while the OFS claims it's simply enforcing existing laws. This disagreement highlights a much broader issue: how do we balance freedom of speech with the reality of a polarized society? The implications of this ruling go far beyond Sussex, as Universities UK, representing 141 institutions across the country, has voiced concerns about finding the right balance between free speech and legal obligations. Vivian Stern, the chief executive of Universities UK, has said there's a need for more clarity on what counts as a breach of these rules. Education Secretary Bridget Phillipson has weighed in too, calling free speech and academic freedom non-negotiables in higher education. She insists that students must be prepared to face challenging viewpoints, but is the system really ready to handle this complexity? Do universities have the tools to ensure all voices are heard without fear of retaliation? This situation also brings to mind the civil rights movement, when marginalized voices fought for recognition and respect in academic spaces. The fine on the University of Sussex is the largest ever issued, and it could mark a shift in how freedom of speech is handled within academia. With the university planning to challenge the ruling, we're left wondering what this will mean for the future of free speech in universities. Will it lead to more inclusive environments where all voices are respected, or will it widen the divide even further? As we think about these developments, one question remains: is the pursuit of absolute free speech worth the potential marginalization of vulnerable communities? This case brings to light the complex power dynamics surrounding free speech, especially when it involves marginalized groups. Universities find themselves caught between creating inclusive spaces and sticking to rigid interpretations of freedom of speech. In the end, this case might just change the landscape of higher education for years to come. So, what do you think? How should universities balance free speech with inclusivity? Leave your comments below, and don't forget to like this video if you want to see more coverage of this ongoing debate. And hey, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to stay up to date with the latest in higher education and freedom of speech.